Hello, hold on. Sorry, let's start again. Hello, my name is Rob Spence, Managing Director of Paragon Sales Solutions. In this week's sales snippet, let's reflect on Halloween. Let's talk about trick-or-treating. Let's talk about Halloween and what lessons can we learn from Halloween to use in our sales strategy, or perhaps to develop a good sales mindset for our business. So, trick-or-treating, we go knocking on random people's houses. It's the only time we encourage our kids actually to knock on people's doors and ask for sweets. It's really bizarre. And yet we do. We go around, we knock on doors and we dress up and we ask for sweets. And it got me thinking, as I'm always thinking about sales or business to some degree, what can we learn from this? Well, there's loads of lessons we can actually kind of learn from trick-or-treating and how we can use those in our sales lives, really. So first of all, we are only going to get our sweets if we go door knocking, right? Halloween comes, we sit at our house, no one's going to come to our house saying, hey, Rob, nice costume, do you want some sweets? I wish that did happen, but it doesn't. We have to go out there, we have to go door knocking, and we have to get the sweets in return. Now, as with sales, trick-or-treating is a numbers game. The more doors we knock on, the higher chance of a greater or a larger tub of sweets at the end of the night. And also, as we're going door to door, there are certain clues we can look out for as to how many sweets we could get at a house, or perhaps the chances that we will get some sweets at a house. For example, do they have pumpkins outside? Do they have decorations up? Is there a lady at the door with a bucket of sweets chucking them around? All of these are buying signals. We know that if we go knock on that person's door, there is a really, really high chance that we are going to get some sweets. However, on the flip side of this, it's also very important that we target the doors who don't have decorations. Sure, the ones that are, giving it the big old, look at me, look at all my decorations, there's a good chance that they will have sweets. But what about the people who don't want to decorate, or perhaps can't afford to decorate, or perhaps don't have the time to decorate? Doesn't mean that they don't have sweets. And do you know what? Until we actually knock on that door, and until we actually try, and until we actually ask, we don't know if we're going to get any sweets in return. So although yes, in our sales career, we can look at a case of what buying signals are out there. Are they looking for what it is I'm selling? But also it's a case of you as a sales professional or business owner to say, hey look, just so you know, I'm here. If you need my services, for all you know, they might need what you sell. Sometimes you go knocking on a door and they don't have any sweets for you. Perhaps they've run out, perhaps they've forgotten, perhaps they just don't like you. That's never happened, but it could happen. Does that mean that you give up and you go home? Of course it doesn't. You don't get your kid dressed up. You don't take your kid out. On the first door, they say, sorry, I've run out. And you go, oh, I know there's all another 50 houses in this neighborhood, kid, but listen, look, let's just stop. We've been rejected once. Let's just go home and move on. That's not going to happen, right? You keep going. You move on to the next house. If that next house has run out of sweets, do you give up? Hell no. You want the sweets in your basket, right? So you keep moving on to the next one. Once again, the lesson here is within sales, you keep going. You hear a no, you keep going again. You go on to the next prospect. You find another person to ask. You go and pitch your product or service elsewhere. But on the flip side of that, if you go to the first house and they give you a bucket full of sweets and you say, oh, I can't be bothered, take these. Do you give up? Do you go home after that first one? Yeah, you've got a massive bucket of sweets, but do you go home? I wouldn't. I'd carry on. I'd get more sweets. That's not because I'm greedy or I'm putting on a bit of podge these days. No, well, maybe it is. But no, it's because that I know that there'll be a greater chance of success further down the line. So once again, as a sales professional, it's very easy once we get a hard hit, when we get like a big bit of money in our bank, once we get some good commission, once we get some good revenue through the door, we sit back, we relax, we chill out for a bit, put our feet up and just let the bank do whatever the bank wants to do with our money. But then over time, we look at our bucket of sweets and we go, hold on, I'm out of minstrels now. Minstrels, are they even still existent? Who knows? I need some more sweets. But then Halloween's over and you don't get any more sweets. So, in a roundabout way, what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of business for you to get out there, no matter what it is you're selling, but you've got to go find it. Yeah, there are people who will be looking for what it is you're selling, giving it all the big, or I'm looking for, I'm in need of, can someone help me with this? Which is great, which is awesome, but there's also people that are hiding behind a door that don't know that they need your product or service until you get knocking on that door. Secondly, if you go to the first house and you get rejected, if you go to the first prospect you go to and they say no, if you go to the first sales meeting with ABC company and they say no, look, I don't need your product or service. Does that mean you don't go to company XYZ? Does that mean you don't go to company DEF or whatever? No, of course you don't. You keep going. And once again, on the flip side of that, if you go to the first prospect, ABC, and you get the biggest deal of your life, do you give up there? Do you retire? No, of course not. You keep going, you keep the pipeline flowing, you keep money in your bank, and the sales process goes on. So, as always, with every day-to-day occurrence, there's a lot to learn from, and in Halloween and trick-or-treating is a perfect one for sales. So, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Did my son's scary mask make you poop yourself just a little bit at the start of this video? Let me know. Rob@paragonsalessolutions.co.uk. And until next week, all the best.